Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. I'm sitting in an empty barn. So you'll have seen in the last video, I was starting to pack up Automotive Tales HQ. Well, that's the reason why I'm sitting in an empty barn, because this is the new Automotive Tales HQ. So we've got a big space here, we've got a little bit of workshop space, we've got some car storage, another bay for working on cars, and hopefully some space to set up a new studio so we can do interviews, we can do stuff to camera, could do more of the stuff on the whiteboard, we can get on with repairing some of the project cars, and we can bring the fleet back together. The hope is that my cars that have been scattered to the winds all the way across the country can now be in one place here at HQ. So we'll see the Rolls-Royce coming back, we'll hopefully see the Bentley coming home, the Fiat 850 Sport Coupe, we're going to have the Land Rover's already here, the V890, the Clio, the T5R, the T5, the Boxster, the 944, the whole family is going to be here in one place. Okay, first car we are moving to the new HQ is the Land Rover. So it hasn't moved for a little while, so let's see if it turns over first of all. That's a good start. I think it's going to need a bit of time to build fuel pressure, and then let's get it warmed up. It's alive! Well, sort of. It's running about 6 cylinders at the moment, but it'll get there. Hopefully. Right, we are on the move. So here goes from old house to new house. Yep, that is literally how far I have moved. So you can see some other buildings in the background, but now we're going to go and drive to the garden and go to HQ. I might have got it stuck between two trees. Eek. Scratchy, scratchy. Oh, that sounds horrible. And we've lost the wing mirror, but we're through. Oops. Think we might need to do some hedge trimming. So that used to be enough space to get a vehicle through. Turns out it's not. The next car to come through is the Rolls-Royce. But not until we've sorted that out a bit, because that was disgustingly scratchy. Which, as you can see, has utterly ruined the paintwork on my Land Rover. Oh wait, no, it was like that before. There we go. First car is here. It is in at Automotive Tales HQ. I mean, there's literally nothing else here. No tools, no lights, no nothing. But the first car is here. That's the important thing. After, destroying some greenery. So just in time for the rain to come back, we have got the Land Rover in, but that was very Austin Powers. It was like an 8-point turn, but I did only hit the door frame once, so, win-win. The only problem is, while the garage is vast, as you can see, the turning space out the front here is not. So getting the Rolls-Royce in there, well, that's going to be interesting. But that's a problem for another day, because now it's raining, and you've already seen I ain't going to get the Rolls-Royce through that hedge in the same way that went through the hedge and took some of it with it. Yeah, next stop, I guess, is to start clearing this and put some lights in so I can actually do stuff in here, because at the moment, as you see, it's very dark. So yeah. So hopefully you can hear me. It's a very windy day here at Automotive Tales HQ, but we're back in the garage in HQ itself, and I've got some updates for you. So you can see behind me this very old consumer unit. That's going to be one of the first things to go, because I have ordered some lifts. So we've got two 5-meter 4-post lifts. So they're a 5-meter bed, so I can get a Rolls or the Bentley on the lifts, and they'll come to 2 meters so you can walk clean underneath them. Also means I should be able to put the Land Rover underneath if I want to. So those, unfortunately, they're going to take about 12 weeks to come, because there's only one in stock and I want a pair of them. So they'll be coming in probably late December or early January. So in the meantime, I've got to put all the power in. So this workshop, as it stands now, has a single power feed. It's like a 32 amp, like your normal ring main sockets in your house, which is not enough to run the lifts. So I've got to put in all the connections for the lifts, and I've got to put in a new ring main, some new lighting circuits, because you can see it's still very dark in here, and run it all to a brand new consumer unit, because this is no longer to code. I've also then got to run a new power cable back to another part of Automotive Tales HQ, where there's some more consumer units that are also not to code, replace those, and then run an armoured cable from there back to our 3-phase supply for the property. So there's quite a lot of work to do, but I've had lots of goodies delivered. So I have ordered 16 twin sockets. So there'll be lots of sockets to plug in, things like trickle chargers, to plug in power tools, etc., for not just the garage, but for the little workshop that's next door as well. So lots to be getting on with. This is going to keep me busy, and I've got until December to get it all ready for those lifts to arrive. But that's not all we've got to do. So it's a bit brighter out here, but it might be a bit noisy with the wind. But you can see that the workshop currently has these standard garage doors that are up and over. The problem with those is when they're up, they're going to interfere with the lifts, because the lifts has got such a long bed on them to get some of the bigger cars. So the next job is to get some new doors that are not up and over, but also to try and widen them a little bit. So you can see we've got a brick pillar here, and we've got a standard narrow door. So the hope is we can take off about half a brick each side, which will give us, you know, a couple of inches of extra width. And then we're going to get some nice wooden doors that are a bit more in keeping with the area we're in, get rid of these up and overs, and then we've got access, we'll have electrics, and we should have the lift as well. And then we're on to actually being able to bring cars into HQ at last. Well, this is an exciting development. So we've had a delivery for Automotive Tales HQ from SpaceX, of all places. Now, unfortunately, I've not bought a rocket or a satellite, but I have bought satellite internet. So Automotive Tales HQ 2.0 doesn't have fibre or any decent speed of internet, and having lived off 4G for the last couple of years, it was time to get some proper internet. So hopefully we're going to have some nice low latency, high speed internet, which will be very useful for doing these videos. Normally it takes me about an hour and a half to upload the videos to YouTube, which is ridiculous. So yeah, this will be very, very handy for productivity. So that's about it for this episode from Automotive Tales, but stick with the channel and we're going to hopefully go through my entire dream garage build. Yeah, so, you know, like, subscribe and all that jazz if you want to see the rest of this build take place. Until then, I'm going to enjoy my nice new Automotive Tales hoodie, which is, you know, super appropriate for winter. This is my stash. I haven't actually got a load of these to sell yet, but if you want a cool Automotive Tales hoodie or a polo shirt or anything like that, bleep bloop in the comments below. I have a few bits and pieces of merch that I might give away to people, so yeah, bleep bloop below if there's something you're interested in. Right, next week you'll see me working on a Land Rover, but not the one you've seen in here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Isn't it quite lovely that the only noises that disturb me here at HQ 2.0 is birds in the trees rather than, you know, pop, pop, bang through the middle of the village as it was at the old workshop? How lovely.